Thursday, March 26th, 1:34 p.m. New York time. Welcome back to Winning Wall Street's Money. Going to do a top-down, looking at several time frames, be the daily and the weekly, looking at the broad markets. The broad markets are more than just the stock market. Look at the aka equity market, also called the stock market, fixed income products, currencies, commodities, crypto. This is the last full week of the month. Next week is the last days of the month. We're ending the first quarter of the year. Money managers that manage other people's money, investment portfolios, they will be updating their investments. Some will be buying more of what they have. Some will be selling some or all of what they have, adjusting their portfolios quarter to quarter. And that would be reported public information next month from the SEC for those financial institutions that are regulated. And then you can see the transactions. That being said, I prefer not to wait that long. I want to be situational awareness now, so I could participate, learn English. The struggle's real. Going to look at the futures markets, since they have longer trading hours, more insight than the basic stock. So this is a one-year chart. Each candle is daily of the ES. If you don't know what the ES is, that's the S&P 500 futures. They open and close before the regular stock market. Yep, pretty simple. Looking at this chart, it's looking like a curve, like half of a U shape. It's declining. The prices are declining. The market is in a decline. The market is in a markdown. Smart money has been selling for a while. That yellow horizontal line on the top, that's the high of the year. This was all consolidation. Smart money was selling. It's in markdown phase. You'll see that more clearly on the higher time frame where I have it labeled. Here's a swing low. See this blue horizontal line from last year? This swing low here, we already broke. Close below it. Zoom in. So currently today, we're red. We're negative. We never took out the high of yesterday, which was that red candle. Nope. But we did take out the low of yesterday. Big bearish candle. See this green candle and that big wick on the top? Extremely long wick. I labeled the midpoint of it for trade ideas. Yesterday and the day before, that yellow candle and the red candle, tested it, rejected it. Sellers were there. And those two candles, yesterday and the day before, small little bodies, big wicks, top and bottom, dodgies, signaling distribution. Smart money was selling. Again, the big institutions are doing rotation. They might be trading short or just out closing longs. And again, today, those that were slow are now in the panic mode. The 10-year yield, the most correlated yields to the U.S. mortgages. When the yields go higher, mortgage rates go higher. If you're not aware, we're near the highs of the year. Here's the low of the year. Consolidation staircase at a higher high. Today, yields are higher than yesterday. Yep, big green strong body. Yields are going higher. It's not just the federal agency of the Federal Reserve, aka central bank, that has a say on the interest rates. Yep, higher risk, higher yields. If you're a buyer, you earn higher income. If you're borrowing, you're paying more. On to the next financial instrument. US dollar index. Here's the high of the year. Here's the low of the year. Yesterday, big green candle. We broke above it, higher high, higher low. That big red candle, big wick, midpoint, testing it. So currently the trend's to the upside. Maybe we'll get to this blue swing point between today and tomorrow. Might be a rejection. Yep. Right, key level here. Market's got several hours before it closes. Anything could happen. Prices fluctuate. Key levels I'm looking at the swing points, the blue one on the bottom, blue one on the top, and how we close today in here. Crude oil. Yesterday and the day before, two inside candles. Broke above it today, up strong. Midpoint of that big impulse move down. There's a lot going on here. Look at all this massive consolidation. Impulse move down. Inside candles and going back up. I think that big red candle on the down day, I think that was the day the president mentioned he's not going to do the attack on the energy plants in Iran. Manipulating the market. It didn't work out too well. Now it's rotating. Gold. Yesterday, bearish pin bar. Today, lower low, lower high. Key levels. Potential entry signal. And the euro, the inverse from the US dollar. Yep. Pair distribution, marked down, big green candle, big wick, testing it. Swing points. It's in a consolidation phase. So in the consolidation phase, looking more like accumulation. And natural gas. Here's a high for the year. Here's a low of the year. The energy sector, crude oil, natural gas. Big moves. Current situation is, it's in a big consolidation. Higher high, higher low from yesterday. Looks like accumulation. Silver. Yep. In this big consolidation. Bearish pin bar yesterday. Of course, selling off now. More consolidation. To me, accumulation. And the crypto, Bitcoin. Here's the high for the year. Way below the highs of last year. Swing point right up here. Dodgy candle. Dodgy candle, that type of candle means indecision. Inverse, halfway point. And that's what it did. Reversed. Big impulse move down after it. Consolidation, weakness, distribution. So since we are so close to the end of the week, tomorrow is the last trading day of the week, I want to include the weekly view. Same financial instruments. Now we're looking at a 5-year chart. Each candle's a week. See these white words I've labeled here? Distribution, markdown, accumulation. This week, we made a new low for the S&P 500. Again, distribution, markdown phase. 10-year yield. New high for the year. So we have big events that's been already happening this week. Last week, the Federal Reserve left interest rates unchanged. We also had the past few days, the U.S. debt broke record high, above $39 trillion. And the 10-year yield, new high. US dollar index, which is interesting. We're not at the new high of the year, but we broke below last week's inside candle. Then we have a wick on the bottom. So building consolidation over here. Balance area down here. lower high, lower low. Breaking that inside candle, buyer stepped in there. Okay, but we didn't take out the high. And crude oil. Yep. Big move down this week. Testing midpoint in that big wick and buyers stepping in. Gold, new low for the year. Broke that low. Tested this midpoint imbalance. Sorry, tested this imbalance area and buyers bought it. The euro. Red candle, consolidation. Tested the imbalance area, rejecting. Natural gas. Red candle, lower, high, lower, low. Huge consolidation here. Silver also broke the low of the year and buyers stepped in. Bitcoin. Lower high, lower low, big wick on the top, massive rejection. Still in this consolidation phase. That's the current situation. Soon, we'll be done with the monthly candles. I highly recommend looking at those now, as well as when they're completed for the month. Thank you always for spending a little time with me. That's it for the video. Thanks for watching.